Okay, good day everyone. Good day everyone. Yeah, good evening everyone. I'm sorry about Monday, sorry about Tuesday.
Really, sir.
Yeah, so due to one or two things, we're trying to put many things in order. But I believe that at least everybody has enough time now. Put as much things as possible together, exactly. Okay, so now we proceed properly right now. In our previous class, we quickly talked about
Okay, sir.
yeah, we quickly talked about some basic explanation concerning introduction to web development. Yeah. So and then we talked about sorry, can you guys
Stop,
hear me
stop,
very
stop.
well? Can you hear me properly? Hello, can you guys hear me properly?
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
which
we
one is
talked
Gamma? I don't download Gamma.
no Gamma actually is an AI app I used to create PowerPoint slide. You can see I created this PowerPoint slide that was 3 months ago. So I use Gamma app.
Okay.
Don't worry, I will send you the link in case you want to create PowerPoint for any of your projects or presentation. You can always use Gamma app. Is that understood? Yeah. Okay, so as I was saying right now,
Yes,
that's
sir.
as we talked about introduction to web development, talked about
Bo, bo, bo.
the front end, we talked about the back end, and we talked about Visual Studio Code ID. So we push further to talk about why we choose Visual Studio Code as an IDE over other IDs like Sublime and the rest. So please, can you mute your mic? Adakole, can you mute your mic? Yeah, Adakole and Gosby, please, can you mute your mic? Okay. Gosby, please mute your
Okay,
mic.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So now we talked about that's front end technologies. Then we talked about the power of Visual Studio Code and why me as a person I like to use Visual Studio Code. So we push forward. We talked about that's talking about HTML, unleashing the power of creativity with front-end development tools, which is HTML, CSS. So although we're not doing Bootstrap in this class, if you want to go for the master class, you can notify me. So I'll teach you about Bootstrap. Is that clear? So what I also doing is just HTML, CSS, and then
Sir, is
JavaScript.
the Booty, is the other class separated from this one?
Master class is
Yes.
after this. Master class is after this class. Is that
Oh,
clear? Yeah.
no, mommy.
So master class is after this
Yes,
class.
sir.
Yeah. So now talk about that is tackling
Do we still have to
challenges.
pay for that one?
Yes, now that's an advanced class compared to this one. Don't worry, when we get here, just focus on what you need to learn for now. Is that understood? Yeah. Is that clear? So focus on the technology you need to get familiar with for now. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we talk about tackling challenges. That's talk about accessible design. That's talk about cross browser. I don't know if someone trying to okay cross browser compatibility. Talk about optimization and performance. So now talk about hello. Sorry, do you have a question you want to ask? Don't worry,
Sorry.
don't worry, don't ask it. Don't
No,
worry.
sir.
There is question time. There's question time. There's question time. So just chill us. So now we talked about our conclusion where we'll talk about we'll do some little, web development. We talked about, empowering ourselves with skills and knowledge gained today to enhance or to embrace the joy of creating stunning web experiences. And then we talked about, keep exploring. That's, keep building projects based on our own imaginations or based on what we ourselves we want to do. Is that understood? Okay. So now we push forward. Since we missed Monday, we missed Tuesday. So we are covering these three things today. As though if there is enough time, but I'm not rushing the class actually because I want everybody to flow along. Is that understood? So we talked about introduction to HTML, the structure of an HTML document, talk about styling with CSS, talk about introduction towards JavaScript. So now let's proceed right now. So first and foremost, in our previous class, I created a folder on our desktop. So now let me create a folder again. So now let me just call the folder intro to what? To web dev. Is that clear? So that's the name of the folder, intro to what? To web dev. So I'll open the folder with Visual Studio Code. Okay, so right now, as I've opened the folder with Visual
So
Studio
should you
Code,
create that folder too?
yes, you can create it. You can create it. You can create it. Yeah, so I'll give you guys times to create it quickly ASAP. So you open it with Visual Studio Code. So in our last class, I talked about different ways you can open your projects
How
with
how
Visual
how should we
Studio
create
Code.
it on Video Studio Code? How how
Eh?
how 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 so how?
Okay, do you know what? Let me just finish presenting quickly. Then I will
So
now
how should I
quickly.
open it?
Okay, a minute, a minute. Oh yeah, share me your screen. Adakola, share me your screen. Let me see. Hello, Adakola. I say share me your Visual Studio Code. Hello, Adakola.
It's not like it's not allowing me to share.
I've unshare. I've
Sir,
unshare. I unshare so you can share me your Visual Studio Code screen. Do you know how to share your screen? Huh? Okay, do you know what? I will show you how to share your screen quickly. Let me just quickly do some. Okay, yes, okay.
I've shared my
Okay, it's coming
screen.
up. It's coming up. Yeah, coming up. It's still coming up. I can't see your screen clearly. Probably it's network issue. Miss V, good evening. Miss V, good evening. Yes. So sorry. I'm just trying to just quickly. I just explained quickly about what we did previously and stuff like that. So that's it. Okay. So now, Adakole, I can see your screen now. So go to that project I say you should open. Yeah. So go to the project right now.
God
Don't
forbid.
worry,
God
it's an
forbid.
interactive class. It's an interactive class. Everybody should feel free to ask questions. So the class is 1 hour, 30 minutes. The main aim of the class is for everyone to gain value. You understand? So Adakole, go to your Visual Studio Code.
Yes, sir.
Leave your browser and go to your desktop. Okay, so now where's the folder that you say you opened? Adakole, where's the folder you say you opened?
Look
Yeah,
at
right click on that folder. Yeah, right click on the folder. Who are you communicating with there? Right click on that folder.
no one.
Yeah, right
Okay.
click on the folder. So click on show more options. Click on show more options. I say should right click, okay. That's it. Open with code. Open with code. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So you can expand your screen so that we can proceed properly. So you can stop sharing. Let's proceed, right? So stop sharing.
Oh. Highlight.
So now let me move back and share my screen. Okay, so now let's proceed right now. So right now I'll split my screen so that um as you are actually as I'm coding, you can be seeing the outputs at the other side. So
So are we supposed to be doing it? Or we're
yes,
just
yes,
supposed to be
yes,
watching?
yes. If you want, you can be watching, you can be doing it. But the advantage is that you can ask me question. It's more like an interactive session. Yeah, so you can calm down.
Yes, sir.
Let me be doing it, or anyone you want, anyone you choose is still okay. Is that understood? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now, the other time we created a new folder and we call it that's because I was using this particular template. So I want to do it topic by
So you're
topic so that
breaking.
sorry, okay. What about now? Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. So now the first topic was introduction to HTML. So now moving right now, I said
Yes.
introduction. Sorry about that. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic. So introduction to HTML. So and then I say index.what's HTML. As I created a new file, let me take it back again so that you guys can understand what I'm doing. So after creating that is after opening this folder, I click on this particular folder. I say introduction to what's HTML, and then I said what
I can't see what you're
index.what.
doing. It's lagging.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not your network? Sorry, sorry. Can you guys see my screen? Hello, that's Faith, Miss V. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see your screen.
Okay, so which means other caller is from your side. Check the
I can
network on
see
your
what
side.
I can see your screen, but what you're typing, what you're doing is lagging.
Okay, no problem. Let me just okay. So is it okay like this now? So okay, so that's it. Okay, so we proceed right now. So then we create a new file. We say index.what's.html. Okay, are you following? So then just type HTML. So select HTML5. Is that understood? Select HTML5. Is that clear? Okay. So right now, let me just split this screen and open our work with live server so that whatever I am typing here, you can be seeing it on live server. So in our previous class, we installed live server. We installed what live server. So how did we install live server? We went to this extension here. So we just typed live server. Is that clear? So live. So it's coming up. Okay, so why that is coming up, a part of installing live server also too, you have to put your work on auto save. Is that understood? So how does auto save work? So I just have to come here and I come over here, select file. So now you can see it's auto save. So now what auto save does is that whatever you're actually working on automatically it saves on the what? The browser. So now let's go back to our extension. You can see live server, it has come up. So we installed it. So the main aim of the live server is to enable us output our results on the browser. Is that clear? Don't worry, you will see the usefulness now. So now let's go back to our index.html. So let me split my screen. So if you observe, I just opened it with a live server. So let me reopen it again so you can see what I'm trying to explain. Now let me go back. So now let me right click. You right click on this index.html and you select the option open with what? With live server. Is that clear? Open with live server. So from here right now, uh,
I mean,
So from here right now, we will now proceed normal. We'll now proceed normal. Talked about comments. Now, comments in HTML. What
You
is
were doing,
comments
I
in
left
HTML?
because my screen was
Okay, no problem. No
lagging.
problem. Now, what is comments in HTML? Now, every coding or programming language, that's what they call comments. Exactly. Now, comment is where you jot things on your ID. Now, HTML comment is different from what CSS comment. So now the shortcut of writing comment is control slash. Is that understood? I'll say control slash just like this. Now in this control slash now I can now say yeah, this control slash here is HTML comment. If you observe all the rest they are blue in color, but this one is green in what? In color. But with this control slash right now, I can actually make a comment now. Now the first comment I'll talk about is what adding what element. Exactly. Adding elements. So now adding element right now, um, when we are talking about adding elements, we're talking things like H1, H2, H3, H4, and what H5. When I say H1,
So
let me
I don't
say
know what you did to get to where you are.
no, don't worry. Just calm down first. I'm recording everything. Don't worry. After everything you ask question, there will still be break. After 45 minutes of the class, there will be a break. I'll give you guys an assessment. Yeah, so there'll be a break. So you guys will come back 10 minutes again online, then we continue. So during that break, you go through the video and then uh, once you go through the video, you can now come back, ask questions, then we continue. So that's how all the classes is going to be. That I'll not just be bombarding you guys and bombarding you guys. Is that understood? Yeah. So is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me say
Yes, sir.
welcome to Canada. Now, if you see right now, I am writing on my ID. I'm getting the output on my what? On my browser. Are you observing that? Huh? So now there's a difference between H1, H2, H3, and what H4. Now, if I should push forward now, I say H2 right now. Let me say welcome to Australia. Now, if you observe, you can see how H2 came out. It came out less bigger compared to H1. Are you guys following? Okay. So
Heading 2.
yeah. So now let me create H3 now. So welcome to what? Brazil. Now, if you observe, you can see that H3 happens to be what? Less bigger compared to H1 and what? H2. So now this element right now, there are specific places we do apply them when building a website. Now H4 now, let me say welcome to Nigeria. Yeah. And then H5.
Positive.
Now, if you see the way I'm writing it, I'll just say H5, then you see the option will come outside. I select it. Exactly. So you just type the element, it comes outside, then select it. And let me say welcome to what? Ghana. Is that understood? You can see our results coming out on the browser, isn't it? Yeah. So now that's the main aim of the ID, just like how you have Microsoft Word. Once you are typing before you know what you are typing, you want to print it out, isn't it? Uh-huh. So just imagine you cannot actually go and type on Notepad and then say, "Oh, let me print it out in Microsoft format." It's not possible. So now that is the main aim of this ID. It helps you to write your code, but there are certain rules and regulations you need to get familiar with. Like for example, right now, whatever content you are introducing, you must introduce it inside an element. Now, this H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, I will show you guys how to apply them when we are building a website. But these are the basics. Is that understood? Okay. So right now, I'll now talk about the paragraph element. So before I move to the paragraph element, does anyone have a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, I'm listening.
So how are you doing it? How are you typing the headings that is showing on your live server?
Yes, that's what I told you. Now, why it is showing on my live server was that, I told you guys, you understand, to install live server, isn't it? In our previous class. Can you
Yes.
recall? Uh-huh. So now once you install live server now on
Yes.
this your ID here, you just right click, then you just select open with live server. Is that clear? Are you following?
On which
So
ID?
this ID here that we're writing on index.html. So you select open with live server.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you now select open with live server, automatically it appears a but if you want to be coding, you want it to be showing automatically on your browser. You now have to, go back to this file, and then do you see this autosave? So let me take it back and go back to the file. Can you see this autosave? Are you seeing it, bro?
Yes.
You
Yes.
must make sure you check it on your ID. Is that understood? If you don't check it, you have to be saving your work over and over again. Is that understood? So once you check it, automatically anything you are
Yes.
coding appears on the what? On the live server. Is that clear? So that's it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any other question? Any other question? Okay, so if there's not any other question now, we continue right now. So so we continue. Let me open the paragraph. Now I told you guys earlier this is an element. Now if you observe now, you can see that these comments did not appear on our browser. Are you observing it? Hmm? Are you guys observing it? These comments, adding element, it appear on our browser, isn't it? Sorry, are you guys there?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now that's because this is a comment. Is that understood? Is a what? Is a comment. Now comments now don't appear don't appear on the what? On the browser. Now I'll make another comment again. I'll call it what? Paragraph
Yes,
elements. Now all this
sir.
from H1, yes. You have a question? Okay, now from H1 to H5, they are all what? Elements. Now the next one is what? Paragraph what? Elements. So now this paragraph element right now, let me now proceed. Um, let me open it. Now the paragraph element is represented by what? P. So let me select P. So in this P right now, I'll now type what they call lorem, a dummy test, just a dummy test that we used. So lorem, that's Lorem. Are you seeing it? So now the ID brought out an option lorem, so I'll select it. Hmm? So if you see now, our screen looks as if we are out of the main page. That's not a problem. At this particular point, what you should do is what? Alternate Z. Is that understood? So you say alternate Z, everything comes back to normal. Are you guys following? Okay. So from there right now, this is a paragraph element. Now the paragraph element is represented by what? P. Is that understood? Okay. So now we now move right now, talk
Yes,
about the
sir.
bold element now. The bold element. Now the bold element right now is represented by what? By B. Is that clear? So now let me move back right now. So I will now select B like this. So you see the bold one. So that's the bold element. So I'll do the same lorem also too again. So let me take it back. Lorem. So I'll select it. I don't know why is it doing this. Okay, let me select it here. Lorem. So you can see it. It came out what?
So this lorem, is it something that can be inputted
This lorem is like a dummy tell. Let's say, for example, if you are building a website, instead of me to be stressing myself, instead of me
just
to be
like?
stressing myself. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm hearing you, sir.
Okay, now for example, if I'm building a website, if contents are not available, so instead of me stressing myself waiting for the content developer to actually send me the content, I can just put in a lorem. Are you following? So now that lorem, you understand, automatically is
Okay.
is just going to
Yes.
be here
Yes.
just to represent, just to occupy space. I don't know if you grab. So once the
Okay.
main
Yes.
contents
You can
come, I
edit
just
it.
delete it and then paste it there. Is that clear? Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
that's it. So in the next 15 minutes, we'll be taking a break so that you can go through the you can go through everything and everything we have done. As I will leave this in live server open so you can go through everything and then you get back. Just 5 minutes break. Okay, now we proceed right now. Since we've talked about the bold elements, now the next thing we'll talk about is the what? The list element. Now, in the list element, we have what we call ordered list and unordered list. Is that understood? So now, how does this work? Ordered list, unordered list. How does this work? So now let's start with what ordered list. So note if I want to make a comment, what do I do control slash. Is that understood? And if you can see, everything I've been writing is inside the body. This is the opening body, and this is the what? The closing what? Body. Now, what separates the opening and the closing is this slash you are seeing here. This slash. So we have the opening and the what? And the closing. So what you now you should get familiar with right now is what? Is when I actually
So
create
please,
an
can you
element.
explain that again?
Yeah, okay, now if you can see right now, this is our opening. Now everything we have been coding so far is inside the body, isn't it? Are you seeing it? We didn't go outside the what? The body. Now
Yes.
this is the
Yes.
opening body, and this is the what? The closing what? Body. Now same thing too with this element also. If you see our H1, this is the opening element, this is the closing element. Now the closing element, now you can see this slash. This slash, you understand? That's what differentiates the opening and the closing. The opening does not have the slash, but the closing has the what? The slash. Are you following? Are you guys following?
Okay.
Okay. Now, same thing too with this
Yes, sir.
paragraph. So you can see the opening and the what?
Yes, sir.
And the closing. Is that understood? So, and same thing too with the bold element. You can see the opening and the what? The closing. Now, the next thing we'll talk about is, since we have talked about the paragraph element, the bold element, now we'll talk about list. So, I'll say ordered list. Okay. So in our ordered list, the ordered list is represented by Alpha, mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. Okay. So ordered list right now is represented by OL. So I'll say OL. Are you guys following? Now this OL now, I'll now introduce some list inside again. That's list. Now let me say Abuja. Now list again. Kaduna. And now list again. That's Kano. Then now list again. So let me say Edo. Okay. So are you guys following? That's it. Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, and what? Edo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is it. So we have that's our ordered list. So now ordered list now is numbered 1, 2, 3. Then now the difference between ordered list and unordered list is that unordered list is not numbered. Now let me come down and create what on ordered list. So on unordered list that's UL. So let me say LI. Let me still put in Abuja, LI, Kaduna, LI, that's Kano, LI. We say what? Edo. So now if I should scroll, now you can see it now, now ordered list is numbered, while unordered list is not what? Numbered. Is that clear? Are you guys following? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's the difference between ordered list and what? Unordered list. So as we proceed, you have an idea of how they are being utilized as ordered list, unordered list. Now from there right now, we now proceed now. We talk about table. Table. Yeah. So that's HTML table. HTML what? Table. So now what's HTML table, right? So now I want to create a quick HTML table. So I start by creating a table element. Now inside the table element we have a tr element. Inside the tr element, let me say we have table head. Let me say it's I create another th again. Th means table head. And let me say location and then th. That's capital. Okay, are you guys following? So now let's make this thing look more like a table. So I say border, that's it. Now you can see it. You can say our table has a border now. Then let me say width. So width. So let me say 100%. So now the main reason why I give it 100% is that our table can occupy the entire browser. Yeah, the entire browser itself is 100%. Hmm? Are you guys following? Okay. I don't know if you have any question at this point, or are you guys okay? Hello, are you guys still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
See,
okay, no problem. So
stop
now
it.
let's push forward.
Stop it.
So now since we have this table right now, I'll now create another TR again. Now this TR is going to contain the table data. Now let me say the first state now put into consideration right now is, let me say Kaduna, that's the state, and then TD again, that's North Central, and then TD again, that's the capital of Kaduna is Kaduna. Now I'll now introduce what we call an inline CSS to align these items to the center. So I would say test align, or let me say style test align, that's center. You can see it, all the content, everything move to the what? The center. Okay. So same thing now. Let me now create more states again. So I'll come outside this tr, create another tr again. So td. Um,
So how did you do the text align?
it's over here. You can see it. I use inline CSS. Yeah. So once we go for the break, we come back. We'll talk about the three types of CSS. That's inline CSS. Yes. Adakole, yes, I'm listening. Adakole, I'm listening. You raise your hand off.
So what time do we go for break?
By 7:45 we'll be going for break, exactly. So I'll be back in the next
Yes.
5 minutes.
So I said what time?
7:45, 7:45. Yeah. Okay, so right now we have T here, that's TD. So in this TD right now, let me introduce another state. Let me call it let me see
Okay, thank you.
Lagos. No problem. So we say TD, so that's southwest, and now TD again, that's Ikeja. So then we have a style. So in our style right now, so I'll now say test align, that's center. Yeah, so you can see it's mostly the center. So what I use right now is inline CSS to align the content. So if I should increase my browser, you can see how it looks like in our what browser. Now with CSS now, although after this now we'll go into CSS. Now with CSS right now, what I'll just do is just to start adding color to make things look good and stuff like that. So now let's go back. Let me add now one more the table again. So that's tr, and I say td. So tr means table row. So now this tr now, let me say edo td. That's south, south, south. Okay, and then td. We have edo, we have south, south. We have what else again? Should I put here? So that's Benin, yeah, capital. So I'll align the content to the center. So style test align is what center. Everything moves to the what center. So that's it. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? Now it's time to ask question before the break. Yeah. So Faith Emmanuel, did you raise up your hand? I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What's the question you want to ask?
Thank you, mommy.
What is up?
Go, go, go.
Hello. Yes, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Sir,
Who has a question to ask?
What is your
sir, I have a question.
Okay. What's the question?
So those table bodies, like if you want to write in the row and like on the heading,
Okay. What's that?
oh,
Sorry. Which is it? Is it this part? Is it this
someone
section?
am I going to have time to copy what I'm copying on my end?
Don't worry. Don't worry. Calm down. It's a the video is recorded, so I will compress it in my YouTube and send it to you guys so that you can go through it later on and then copy it. Is that clear? So make sure you copy it before
Okay.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
yes,
So
sir.
Yes,
make
sir.
sure
Yes, sir.
yes, that's it. So someone was asking a question. I'm listening.
Yes, sir. The TRTH
Yes. So right now, let me just put them as a comment for you so you can understand it. So let me do now control slash again. So control slash. So now let me tell you what they mean now. TR
Yeah.
means table row. Is that clear? TD means what? Sorry, TH means table head. And then that's TH means table head. And TD, which is this one, TD means what? Means
Table
table
draft.
data. Exactly. So that's it. So if you see now this style you are seeing here is an internal CSS. Once you guys come out from the break, we will now start with introduction to internal CSS. Although there's more to HTML, but that's for master's class. Just like I say, it's a boot camp. Just for us to just touch coding, touch UI US, touch what's the name. Although
I saw
we're
the
still going to
price
do
for the
nice
master class.
exactly. We're still going to do nice things despite it's a boot camp. But for the master class, you understand, you tend to go very deep, and then there's the advanced class that focus specially on only projects. That's what the advanced class focus on, where we now specialize more on working on our GitHub and LinkedIn profile. Yeah, so I'll drop you guys my LinkedIn profile later, and you guys can actually go through it. So that's it. So um this is what they actually mean. Yeah, so it's time for break right now. You guys can take like 5 minutes to 10 minutes, maximum 10 minutes. We be back, so you continue. So for those that if you want to stay
Okay, sir.
back to ask question, feel free to ask question. Here's the screen. If you want to experiment to code online while I am here, you can still code. So everything is available for you guys. Is that understood? So that's it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'll give you guys classwork to actually go and grind with for like 10 to 15 minutes, then you guys come back online. Is that understood? Okay, so you guys can actually close your camera, so you can close the camera. Okay, so mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. Yeah, thank you. Okay, now let's proceed right now. So we talked about as so quickly, just a quick view, or more like a quick revision. So we talked about opening of a folder on our VS Code. Yeah, so we call the folder that's intro to web dev. So we open this folder, with what? With Visual Studio Code. So before then, I explained to you guys, how I did some quick presentation on some quick presentation on that's talking about web development and the basics and everything you need to get familiar with. Is that clear? So, and also too, we now move to our Visual Studio Code where we started coding to output some certain data. So after outputting our HTML5, which is on the which is on our VS Code we are seeing right now. Someone wants to join. Okay, 3 minutes. Someone wants to join. Okay, sorry, I've not even shared my screen safe. I've not shared it. Okay, so can you guys see my screen right now? Okay, yeah, that's nice. So as I was saying earlier, you understand, we talked about that's the basics of web development, which I showed you guys on a PowerPoint slides presentation. So we opened a folder on our desktop. We call it Intro to Web Development. We opened the folder with Visual Studio Code, and then on that same folder, we opened this folder called Introduction to what to HTML. So and then we have this our file index.html. Okay. Okay, so we have this file known as index.html inside our intro to web development folder. So before we actually went for break, we talked about the heading elements. That's from H1, H5, and you can see the differences on the browser where H1 is bigger than H2, H2 is bigger than H3, so it goes on. And then we talked about that's introducing a dummy test called lorem inside a paragraph element. Yeah, please mute your mic, mute your mic. So we talked about the bold elements also too. You can see it. You can see the difference between the bold elements with our normal content. I said mute your mic, mute your mic. So and also too, we proceed. We talked about ordered list and what on ordered list. So ordered list they are numbered. You can see them 1, 2, 3, 4. While on ordered list appears as bullets, isn't it? Yeah. So ordered list is represented by OL. So let me just put it here, OL. That once you are going through the video, you understand why unordered list is represented by what? 2L. Are you guys following? So we now talked about table. Yeah, so table. So in the table right now that we did, you can see our table. Where we talked about that's inside our table we have the table head. Note everything is inside what our table row TR. Yeah, we have the table head. So where I even made reference, TR means table row, TH means table head, and TD means table data. So that's where we stopped. Right now, we talked about CSS right now. So quick intro on CSS. So before I create a folder for the CSS, okay, let me not create a folder for that. Let me just do everything on this folder. So I'll not end up confusing you guys since you guys still have to go back and rewatch the video. Is understood? So now, right now, we have three types of. So I'll come over to this particular type here. Press enter twice. So observe it. I'll make a comment here now. I'll say we have three types of what CSS application. We have three types of CSS application. So the first one is what? Inline CSS. And we have internal CSS. And also too, we have an external CSS. Are you guys following? So inline CSS was the one I applied on this table. Someone was asking me a question, how did I align this Kaduna to the center, all these ones to the center? It was inline CSS, which you can see here. So I introduced it inside inside what the element. Now, if you see this table element, I can see if I should go back, I delete this one. You can see our table now is looking, see it is looking anyhow, isn't it? It's not looking um like the normal table. So so inside this element here, I'll now introduce what the inline CSS. So the first thing was border, and inline CS is CSS property. So that the border I gave it was 8, you can give it 10, you can give it 7, you can give it 5, anyone you want. Now then I gave it a width. So now this width right now, I put 100 what percent. Are you seeing it right now? You can see how it's elongated. So now the browser itself, you understand, it's kind of like, how will I put it, works with 100%. When I say 80%, it's going to reduce. Now let me demonstrate that right now for you guys. When I say 80%, let me drag this one here so you can see what I mean. So when I say 80% now, let me take it back, 80%. So you can see it reduced. Are you observing it, bro? So but once I say 100%, it occupies the entire what screen. So that's it. So let me go back and let me take this back and move this one here. Okay, now so back to our internal CSS. So tomorrow we'll talk about external CSS. Yeah, so but for today we are using internal. Now if I want to use internal CSS right now the way CSS works, now if I should go back to our that's course outline. So we talked about styling with CSS, CSS syntax, selectors, properties, and what values. So I'll just explain them. You know what the selectors means, what the syntax means, the properties, and the value that's been what's involved. Okay. Now let's push forward. So um the first thing right now is selector. I want to select the body. Note, I told you guys earlier, everything we are doing is inside what? The body, isn't it? This is the opening body, and this is the what? The closing body. So everything we have been doing since is inside the body, not outside the body. So right now, I want to give this body a background color with CSS. So I'll now select it. I'll now select it here. You can see it's body, just the way it's been spelled. So the body, then I'll open a curly braces and then press enter. So but before then I made a mistake actually. What I was supposed to do was that I was supposed to introduce what the CSS, make a reference to the style. So I'll say style. Are you seeing it? Now with this right now, we are dealing with what? An inline CSS, sorry, an internal CSS. So let me do it. Internal CSS. Okay. So inside this our style now, just like how we have this body, just like how we have this body, inside this body, we're introducing HTML element. Now inside this style now, I'm going to introduce CSS and its syntax. So I'll now select body. Are you following? Then open curly braces. Now this is the syntax. This is what it means syntax. If you check the curriculum, we talked about what? That's CSS syntax. I see the selectors, properties, and values. So now I'm going to properties and what? And values. Now, if you see clearly now, this is what? This is a syntax, this is a selector. The body here is a selector. So I'm selecting the body. I can select H1, which I will demonstrate. Yes. Now, property now, background color. Now, background color now is the property. Then the value now, if I should select brown, brown is the value. You can see it. Are you guys following right now? Hmm? Are you guys there? Okay. So now this is the property, this is the what? Value. So now that is that. So I can now go ahead to give all the text the color. So I will say color. Now what's the color now? Let me select this Alice blue. Now so you see all the entire text are going to change in the browser. Are you guys seeing it now, ba? That's because of what I'm targeting the body. Now what about if I want to target welcome to Canada now? Right, so welcome to Canada. So now if I want to move welcome to Canada to the center, so I'll come outside this coily braces of this one, because of this coily braces only handles the one of the body. So I'll now say H1 open coily what braces. Are you following? So now I'll now say test align. Now there's a practical. Now note I use test align in the table for internet. Now I want sorry for this thing inline CSS. Now I'm on internet CSS, right? I'm on internal CSS right now. So I'll now say test align to center. So you can see welcome to Canada, move to the what? Center. Are you guys following? So now I can now go ahead. Let me select the color. Although I gave all of them a general color before, but since I have targeted each one now, I can now exempt it from other. Now that's how selectors. That's how they actually style websites. You've seen different properties in a website. You see, oh, this particular place looks beautiful. This particular place looks nice. Here looks interactive. You understand? We select them exactly and then work on them individually. Now with this, now as we proceed, tomorrow we'll talk about class and ID as external CSS class and what an ID. And then also to so next tomorrow we'll talk about some JavaScript implementation. So on Friday, we'll now wrap everything up with a simple project, just a simple one-page project. Then next week too, we'll now advance a little bit again, go deeper again, you understand on it. So upper week, talk about UI US. The whole of upper week is going to be on UI, that's Figma. And after the upper week, we'll now talk about what Canva design and digital what marketing. Is that understood? Are you guys following? So now note, as I told you guys earlier, the main aim of this bootcamp is just to get a place, a particular place in tech, specializing. You might go through this coding, you might not be very familiar with it. You might say that, oh, let me focus on UI US. Is that clear? So that's just it. That's the main aim of the bootcamp to enable you choose a career path. Yeah. So now we proceed right now, and also too on Friday I'll give you guys your project to actually work on Friday. So I'll give you guys your project to work on also too on Friday. Okay, so now let's continue. Okay, so let's continue right now. So right now we have moved this to the center. So now what next now? So if I now want to target, let me say, that's this paragraph as a one, I want to give it. Now, let me just add some properties to it. So let me say text decoration. Let me say underline. So you can see it. Then I can now go ahead and say font what family. So font family. Let me select Times New Roman. So see it. So Times New Roman didn't really do much of an effect. Let me select something else. So font family. So let me select okay, you can see it looks different now. Yeah. So right now the paragraph also too, that's the paragraph, this particular one. Let me select it and work on it. So that's, you can see P, so that is holding it. Element P, so that's holding it. So let me select it and P. So let me give it color. Let me say blue. Okay, you can see it. So font size. Now font size is to increase the what? The size. So let me say 20 pixel. I say it became bigger. Then let me say font style. So I give it italic. That's okay. So, so now this is how that's selectors work. We select the elements. Tomorrow we'll talk about how to select class and how to select ID also too. We'll talk about external CSS. Instead of you writing all this in one particular file, we move we move all our CSS to another file called what style.css. I'll show you guys how to link the both projects together also too tomorrow. So now I don't know, do you guys have any question to ask from the beginning, as from the Visual Studio Code IDE, the elements to the CSS, the inline CSS, the internal CSS, every. So if you have any questions to ask, just let okay. Yeah, I'm listening. I put what? Yes. P means paragraph elements. Now, what paragraph element means is that now I told you guys now H1 element. This is H1 element. H1 element is the one holding all this content. Now, paragraph element, we mostly use paragraph elements. Like if you are building websites, you see all those content you used to see on websites, right? All those write-up you used to see on websites. I don't know, you are familiar with website. Now let me show you one website now so that it should not be as if I'm just and let me open this. Let me just show you guys. Okay. Don't know why this one is taking time to come up. So why don't it's taking time to come up? Let me just look for one website online now. Okay, yeah, yes, it has come up. Now if you see now, sorry. Now you see all these content you are seeing here, but are you seeing them? Hmm? Yes, so paragraph element is the one that held them. You asking question about lorem earlier, isn't it? So you just put those lorem there as a dummy test. So once the main contents come, them in, you can see how they are. So all these are paragraph content. Is that understood? Hmm? So now this one now can either be H1, H2, or H3. You can see it's bolder, isn't it? So they can either be H1. So same thing with this one. So this one now is an H1. Hmm? Is that clear? So that's it. That's it. So any other question? Any other question? Okay, what's the question? Okay, these pictures. Yes, we'll talk about them tomorrow. We'll talk about them. So that's how to import images. Is that clear? Yeah. So don't worry. We'll talk about them tomorrow. Yeah. So either tomorrow or next week we'll talk about them. Not an issue because we're still going to build a little website. So you see them how we import image with HTML and CSS. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, very understand. Everything I'm saying here is what you will see. It's what you will see. So that's it. So not an issue. Hmm? That's that. Okay, so I will upload it on YouTube so that you guys can see. So you can go through it over and over again. If you have any question, just ask me on the group chat. Is that clear? I'll reply ASAP. Is that understood? So that's just it. And gather all your questions so that for the next class I can treat all the questions and then proceed. So that's it. So if there's no question, so we call today's class and end, and then we prepare for tomorrow. Also to same time, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Is that understood?